I shouldn't be here right now, actually. I shouldn't. I should be 10 feet under it. I should be gone. I should be dead. I was formerly addicted to drugs, a lot of bad substances in my life, and I was able to overcome that. So, just by a show of hands, has anybody out there ever, tried to take their life, attempted suicide, or been addicted to drugs? Just curious. You got a couple people out there, so all right, you guys can relate. Yeah, that was me. I was formerly addicted to pretty much every bad thing you could possibly think of, from Xanax, Percocets, cocaine, weed, hookers, porn, strip clubs, bars, clubs, everything. I had every bad vice. Casinos. That was my number one downfall, by the way. Casinos. But yeah, so I want to get into my story a little bit, tell you guys about it. So let's go back to COVID times, 2020. It was my last semester of college, and the school shut down, the pandemic hit. I got sent back home, and I was supposed to be studying remotely. But I said, nah, fuck that. I'm not going back to school. My buddy invited me to work for his landscaping company at the time, and he was like, yo, I got an extra room in my house in Buffalo, you could come live with me, work for the landscaping company. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And it's pretty much living in a frat house all over again, like I was in college, and worked there for a full year, and we had some great times, some really bad times. And what we would do is we would work so hard throughout the week, and then we would go to the casino and gamble, and we would take a lot of Xanax and smoke weed and get drunk, and it was like a constant cycle for a whole year of me taking Xanax pills, not remembering anything, going to the casino, losing all my money, and then doing it all over again. And then by the end of the month, I had bills to pay, and luckily my rent at that time was only, $300, so I could work a couple of days and pay that off, but I couldn't save up. It was like they had me, the casino had me, and I was just going back there every single time because I was chasing that win. I thought I was gonna win. And my money was just going down the drain. All the money I was making, taking Xanax, getting high every single day. And then boom, I had a breakthrough. I met this Chinese guy, I'll never forget him, at the casino. And he showed me this game called Baccarat. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, Baccarat. This game changed my life. I was like, he showed me this game, and I got so hooked to that game. I made $500 my first night playing it. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. The breakthrough I've been praying for. And $500, and then I went back that whole week. I made $500 again. And I made $500 again. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be a professional gambler. Quit my job that week. Jeez, was I delusional. But yeah, so I was on a hot streak for about 2 months, going to the casino, playing this game called Baccarat, tearing it up. I thought I was on top of the world. I started to travel around the country. I went to Miami, Vegas, LA. By the way, I'm from Buffalo, New York, so this all happened in Buffalo. And yeah, I was on a hot streak, man. I bought myself a car. I was shopping at all these expensive stores. I was traveling all over the country. And then that hot streak ended. I remember. I came back after my final trip. I came to Miami for New Year's 2021. Came back to Buffalo in the apartment that I was living in. I was starting like a shoe collection. I was making a lot of money gambling, and I was thinking, what can I do with this money I'm making? I started a shoe collection. I was like, I'm gonna start a shoe business. And I had a bunch of nice shoes, like Yeezys, Jordans, all kinds of stuff. And when I got back from my trip, someone had broken into our house, and they stole everything. So everything was gone. And that moment was the start of my downfall, because as soon as I lost all those shoes and everything that I had been collecting, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go extra hard at the casino now and make that back. And then boom, I started to lose. Just like I was winning so much, I started to lose. And I was like, all right, I gotta go back. I gotta go back to my mom's house. I'm gonna recover a little bit. So I went back to live with my mom, 22 years old, living in a 1-bedroom apartment with my mother, sleeping on the couch, just miserable with life, depressed with myself, not happy, wanting to change. And I remember every night I would go out and I would take a Xanax bar and smoke a blunt, and it felt so good. Everything felt good, but I was like, I'm so depressed and down during the day, but then I go smoke this weed and take this Xanax bar, everything's suddenly okay, I feel happy. And you know what that is? That's instant gratification. And instant gratification kills men. It kills women. It kills people. It's killed generations because it makes you feel happy with what you shouldn't be happy with. You know what? I saw this stat the other day. The percentage of men aged 24 through 34 is the highest it's ever been that still live at home with their parents. And there's a reason for that. It's because of the instant gratification that you get from looking at your phone from doing these drugs. So, I've made it my mission to stop that, to do all I can to put my message out there and let people see that they can do something to become better, and they don't have to live that life that's in the past, because the past is the past, and you gotta let go of it. It doesn't determine who you are now. Who you are now determines on what you do today. And by focusing on the present moment, you make the best of today. And that's how you become a better person tomorrow in the future. So, at this point in my life, right, back on my mom's couch, 22 years old, lost, depressed, I was like, I need a change. I had about $2,000 left to my name. I started to look for apartments in Miami, places I could live at, because that's where I wanted to be. I knew after visiting here, this was the place for me. I found a room on Facebook Marketplace, $700 for a room with 2 other people. I was like, how can I make this happen? I FaceTimed the guy, he seemed like a great guy. I was like, all right, I'm coming, man, I'm locking this in. How much do I need to pay you? He's like, pay first and last month with security deposit, and you got it. And I was like, all right, I'm coming, don't worry. I started to tell my friends, people back home, I was like, yeah, man, I'm moving to Miami, I'm so excited, I'm gonna build a new life for myself. And everybody was trying to hold me back. They're like, you're not gonna do it. It's just a matter of time before you end up back here. Don't do it. You're making the worst choice of your life. Besides one good friend, his name's Matt Spira. Matt Spira, he said, I encourage you to do it, go do it. And he helped me make the move, he drove down with me. And so I drove down, January 24th, 2021 came. We drove down there, I packed in my car with all the stuff that I had. We drove down to Miami, and when I got down to Miami, some felt really good, but a part of me felt like I was leaving everything behind that I was used to. But I knew some inside me told me to stay with it. You made the right choice. And I thought by moving to Miami, everything was going to change, right? I thought I was automatically going to become a new person, but that's not what happened. Like, I did change my environment, right? And that was really big, but what I did change was my habits. What I didn't change was the person that I was. So I moved down from Miami, or from Buffalo, New York, down to Miami, thinking it was going to change, but I was still the same negative person, with the same negative habits, with the same negative vices holding me back. And for the first 11 months that I was here, from January 2021 to November 2021, it was a constant cycle of the same thing. Taking Xanax bars, smoking weed, going to the casinos. I was working Instacart at the time, so I moved down here with $2,000 and an Instacart job. And I would work every month, my ass off doing Instacart to make as much money as I could to pay the bills. And then when the end of the month came, I would take whatever money I had left over and take it to the casino. I was chasing that win that I had, that winning streak that I had was still in my head, chasing it. And it was a constant cycle for 11 months, man. Every month just going to the casino, losing it all. Going to the casino, losing it all. Going to the casino, losing it all. And this one moment that changed my life forever. I went back to the casino and I had about $3,000, and I had a bag of Xanax bars. Rent was due in 3 days, and I was at the casino. And I was there gambling, lost my first $1,000. I said, I'm only gonna play $1,000. I'm gonna double this $1,000. Put that $1,000 down, lost it. I was like, all right, let me take out another $1,000. I'll take out another $1,000. I'll make that $1,000 back, and then double it. Took out another $1,000, lost that. Down to my last $1,000, I got rent due in 3 days. I was like, I'm gonna do it this time with this last $1,000. Took out that last $1,000, lost it. $0 in my bank account, rent due in 3 days, but I had a bag full of Xanax in my car. I was so down, man. I was hopeless. I felt like I didn't have anybody. I felt like the world was against me. So what do I do in that moment? I drive up to my car, I grab the bag of Xanax, there's about 12 pills in there. I take them all in my hand like this. I film a video. It's my suicidal note to the world, to my parents, to social media. I take the video, take the bag of Xanax, dump it in my mouth, say on video, send that suicidal note to my mom, to my sister, posted it on social media. By the grace of God, my sister had my location on her phone. And So she saw that video and she immediately drove to where I was at. And yeah, luckily she got to me. When she got to the car, I was passed out in the car with the music blasting. She's trying to wake me up. I'm not waking up. And she calls an ambulance. The ambulance comes right away, takes me to the hospital. They pump my stomach. They get all the drugs out of my system before they hit. I wake up the next morning, no recollection of what had just happened. Just so in shock. I was like, what happened last night? I look at my phone. I don't have enough money to pay rent. Rent's due in 3 days. And my sister comes and picks me up from the hospital, tells me what happened. I look at the video I posted on social media. I got people blowing me up, asking me, yo, I hope you're okay, man. I hope you're still alive. And that was a life-changing moment for me because, you know, as you can tell, I tried to take my life. And so, needless to say, rent was due in 3 days. I had to do something to pay the bills. I worked my tail off those 3-4 days. I told my roommate, I'm going to be late, man, but I'm going to make it happen. I made that 700 I needed to make them in about 4 days. I was a couple days late, and I was so down during that time that I went back to the same thing. So for the next month, I was still taking Xanax, I was still smoking, but I didn't have enough money to go to the casino, so I wasn't going to the casino. But I was still doing all those drugs. And then I get a call one day from one of my buddies. He tells me, he says, yo, one of my friends back home, he says, yo, Matt Spira just died. If you guys don't remember from the beginning of the story, Matt Spira was the one friend who encouraged me to make the move down here, who drove with me down here to make the move. My best friend from back home, he dies. He was doing all the same things that I was doing. Same negative habits, going to the casino, smoking weed all day, taking Xanax pills. So I go back home for Matt's funeral, and this was the life-changing moment right here. It was an open casket funeral. I walk into that funeral room. I see him laying there. As soon as I saw him in that open casket, it was a sign from the universe. Because I saw him, and I saw me and him. The universe was telling me, if you continue to do what you're doing, if you continue down the path that you're headed down, that's going to be you. That's going to be your family and friends laid in this room right there, grieving over you, grieving over your death. And that was a changing moment for me, man. After I went back to Miami after that funeral, I changed everything. I told myself I need to do something to change. And you know what I did? I did something I'd never done before. And I made the dedication to myself to go to the gym. I said, I'm going to start by going to the gym. I'm going to get a gym membership. I'm going to go to the gym every single day until I see results. And I did exactly that. It took about 3 months to see results. And after I saw a little bit of results, I was hooked. It was like a new drug for me. It was a way to get better every single day, a way to recreate myself, a way to get stronger, to build myself with confidence, with self-esteem, a way to create new relationships, to bring positive people into my life. I finally started to attract beautiful women into my life. I was like, what's going on? I can't believe it. I was only attracting drug addicts before. I was only attracting people who wanted to sit there and do the same negative stuff all day with no clear intention of becoming better or doing better. And after the first year, I saw some insane results. I developed myself.